Today I am finally doing a studio tour. It's been asked for a very long time. Sadly, this is going to be one of those sad ones again. I know I did this to you guys last time, but we are actually leaving the space. So we moved here in January 2018, so we've been here about 2 years now. It's such a cool space. It's like a big old cannery or like canning factory. So it's like very industrial, really large spaces, lots of creepy noises at night. But what sucks is that the roof leaks really badly. I know I've said this probably every time I've talked about my studio before. So there were leaks right away. We were calling them every time and they were like, yeah, we'll get to it, we'll fix it eventually. They've tried a couple times to fix it since then and it's only gotten worse. The most recent time they patched up where the roof was leaking and then it just spread all the way across the whole room. It is not in the best shape right now. I wish I could have just recorded this earlier for you guys. I guess this is a lesson in getting a studio in an old space. This is 1,000 square feet that we got and I was so excited about it because I wanted to try doing like workshops or like sketch nights or something. And we definitely have the space, but I was never able to organize that just because like the leaks, and if it wasn't leaking, it was either freezing or like burning hot in here because there's no insulation. So in the summertime, it's even hotter than it is outside. So we wouldn't even be in here in the summertime unless it's like nighttime. Aside from that, this space is also in a very not safe area of the city. That's why it's so cheap. So we've been renting this for less than $1 a square foot. So it's 1,000 square feet. We've been renting it for $9.50, which is such a good deal, except that every time we come in or out of here, it's not safe. Like there's a lot of weird stuff happening. The parking lot in the front has a lot of sketchy people, like you can tell they steal a lot, they live in their cars, and there's nothing wrong with living in your car. Just these kind of people are usually on drugs and they dump their sewage, like you can tell they dump it illegally because you can smell it sometimes. I have witnessed people on the street getting held at gunpoint when I was walking into the studio one day. And lots of other really weird stuff, and the building's kind of secure. Like we all have front door keys, we're not allowed to let anybody else in. Sometimes people get in and it's really weird. So yeah, it was okay at first and then it just got worse and worse over time, and recently it's gotten so bad because the like I guess the landlord hasn't been here to like start cleaning up, so people just started leaving junk outside, and then it just started smelling like a bathroom when it was raining a lot. It was weird. So yeah, it's been pretty gross here, and it's such a cool space, and I'm sad we're leaving it, but I don't feel safe coming here. I kind of dread coming here now. I haven't used this space in a long time. I come here just to use the printer and get work done really quickly, and then I leave. I haven't really had time to draw anyway, so it's fine, but it makes me sad that like I have this really pretty space and I can't even use it, or I don't feel safe enough to use it. So yeah, where we're moving next is kind of up in the air because, well, we do have a space and it's in a really cool area. There's actually going to be like food. It's a safe neighborhood. It's in Japantown where we do our art walks every year. It's not as big. It's about half the size of this place. But yeah, I think that's enough talking. I will show you guys what it looks like right now. Please keep in mind we're in the middle of moving and it's leaking, so there's buckets everywhere. It's kind of really messy, and there's boxes and trash bags, and we actually just had a Halloween party. Well, not just, we had a Halloween party a couple months ago, and we haven't been able to fully take all the decorations down. So if you see any roaches, we had a lot of fake roaches as a joke, and then we lost track of them, and they're kind of everywhere. I've never, even though this is an old building, I've never seen a roach or a rat in here, so that's amazing. But yeah, you'll see some Halloween decorations, and just I'll show you guys what we've been doing around here. So I'll just start from the entrance. This is where we come in. So it's like a little hallway. It's kind of cool. It's a little dark right now. We have a lot of wood and stuff right now because we're moving. So there's some carts, some longboards, extra fold-out tables. Right here we have all of our records just to keep it safe for now. And yeah, sorry, it's a mess, guys. So this is what the studio looks like now. So earlier on in the year, Steven was set up over there in that room, but he needed more space, so he took over this half of the room. And he prints on t-shirts. His business is called Skull on Fire Studio, and I don't know if any of you guys need shirts printed. He does really low prices for artists. He mostly prints for artists, so it's pretty cool. And quick turnaround. Steven painted this mural on the wall too. Some of his drawings. And his posters and Texas stuff. This is mine though, one of my favorite movies. Alright, so on the left here, let me move this card. I set this all up for the Halloween party, so it's all spooky looking right now. You guys have seen all this stuff before though. Most of the stuff in this studio is still from my last studio, so you're gonna see a lot of repeating elements. This is the original Inktober painting from last year, 2 years ago, yeah. And the sun's shining pretty hot over here right now. But yeah, I'm not gonna go into detail about this stuff. It's just some knickknacks that I've collected. And it kind of spread out this way because this is where we had like food and stuff set up for the party. So there's like little ghost lights that are actually really cute. And my jackalope. So this area right here is where we set up the shipping area. So my friend Natalie was working for me for shipping stuff out from my shop. And it is a mess right now also, but usually when we're on top of it, it's pretty cool. I like seeing shipping supplies like organized and stuff. So yeah, it's fun when it's organized. But here's like prints and then all the flat mailers, bags, poster tubes, computer, little Dymo printer, everything like that. Pretty self-explanatory. Oh, and right here is the sticker holder. It's actually pretty empty right now, but we've run out of spaces, so we might buy another one of these because this isn't even all the stickers. Here's some of the prints. Yeah, everything's kind of shoved in this corner right now. So over here is a dark room. This is where Steven burns his screens and washes them out for screen printing. There's a sink in there. I think it used to be like a bathroom, but they took it out because they don't want people living here. And then we recently set up this area. It's all messy now, but it was set up for like a streaming kind of hangout area. There are all these cute lights and a couch. And then our computers. And my Cintiq 24 HD here. My scanner, printer, you know. I have a mic and everything. Yeah, I streamed once with this setup and then we left town and I haven't been able to get started again. But hopefully when we move and set it up again, I'll be able to try it out. Probably after I get finished with doing the graphic novel. Okay, so we'll head on over here. So this is a flat file. It's also a mess, sorry guys. We were using it as a table. So a flat file is like pretty much a really big drawer set for large posters and prints and stuff. We put wood on either side and casters so it could roll around, and made it like a table. So right now we keep all of our old drawings and prints. Steven uses it for his files for screen printing. It's really useful. Up on top I have all of our sample books. So like Uline catalogs, t-shirt catalogs. I think I have some, like paint samples. I had a book for cat print and like all the printing places I use. So that's pretty useful. But you guys get the idea. I use this as like a workshop table a couple of times. We did a Christmas ornament decorating thing. That was pretty fun. But now there's stuff that got damaged by the leaks. As you can see, all these damaged papers. So yeah, we have that bucket up there for leaking, and originally it was only leaking along this wall. So it would drip like onto my desk right there. And then they patched it. So they went on the roof and they put like stuff down, and then the water went somewhere else. So now it's leaking all the way along this beam, all the way back here on all the beams. So like up here on that one. So it was isolated to that wall, and now it's the entire studio. We had buckets over here. We had leaks all along this floor here. And we pretty much couldn't use it all winter. So that was super frustrating. I guess I'll get started on this side. This is my main art supply shelf. Ooh. So this is my main art supply shelf. It's kind of been overrun by this plant. I gotta get it a better home in my next space. But yeah, it's huge and it's just trying to climb walls. It's going crazy. I love it. So on top here, I like to keep my fixatives and like mediums and stuff. There's not a lot right now, but like clear gloss and spray paints and stuff. Here on the second level, I keep all of my paints. So right here is a box that I keep. It's an old colored pencil box that I keep my gold leafing stuff in. So the sheets of gold leaf and everything. This bin is full of acrylic wash, mostly Shinhan and a lot of Turner acrylic wash. And then this box is also full of Shinhan, the past acrylic like gouache watercolor set. Let's see, this one's empty. In here I keep my old watercolors, like student grade. Sometimes I still really like some of the colors that they have and I'll still use them, and otherwise I will probably end up donating most of those, even though they're used. There's a lot of workshop art classes that could use them. Over there are my extra Mission Gold watercolors. I filled out 2 palettes full, and then I keep the rest still in there. This shelf, we just have a bunch of jars. I need to clean all of them out because a lot of them have dried paint, but it's watercolor, so it'll come off. And some house paint over there that I was using for a mural. And pretty much that's about it here. All right, this level is kind of weird. I have some popcorn back there from the party. These 3 are sets of markers that were sent to me to try out. I believe they're all the same set, and I actually have 1 more from them. So I'm probably going to end up donating at least 3 of them to the Arsenal, which is the workshop space for kids and stuff. So yeah, those are just markers. And these are my old Prismacolor markers. I think a lot of them are pretty dried out, but I just like keeping them because this was my first marker set when I was in high school. I love them. In the back here, just some random like old markers, some sponges and boxes, tape, things like that. This shelf has all of my acrylic paints. I keep them all in this like bin right here. Cheap ones, mostly like Liquitex Basics, just because I feel like acrylic is kind of just a fun medium and you don't really need to buy anything fancy for acrylics. You can definitely tell the difference, but working with cheap ones is just a tiny bit harder and a lot more affordable. So I still work with student grade acrylics when I have to, or when I use them. And then I got some tablecloths and random boxes back there. Nothing special. Right here is all the bins that I was using to catch the water on my desk. The water that leaks is brown and I hate it. I think it's like rust water, so it's pretty gross. We need to get out of here. All right, between my desk and my shelf here, I keep all of my large canvases. Lots of them are unused, unwrapped, and I'm just waiting for, you know, ideas. These three I already have ideas for, I just haven't had time. But hopefully this spring I'm gonna be painting on these. So I like to buy a lot of the Blick wooden canvas panels. Those are my favorite and they're very affordable. I also really like the aqua boards from Ampersand. I think those are my two favorite mediums besides watercolor paper. And above this, I have this cute little shelf. It's one of my favorite areas of the studio. It's also being overrun with this plant, but it's kind of like my little shrine to future. So I have a Gigi pot, a Luna, a photo of future there, and some artwork from other artists. Oh, and then Toothless, of course, because that reminds me of him. This ZZ plant has been doing amazing since I left it alone. I haven't touched it, and it just like, all of these lighter ones are new leaves, and they're huge. It's going crazy. All right, this little shelf is sad because the water started leaking here unexpectedly and wet all of my watercolor sketchbooks. Pretty sad about that. I actually had a really expensive pad of paper sitting right here of watercolor paper. It only had like 10 sheets in it and it absorbed so much water and it's all brown now. So maybe I can use it as like a sepia toned watercolor paper, but yeah, that sucks. All right, these are some of my favorite little books that I've bought from other artists. Oof, that one's getting wet. Some from Mice, Victoria, Haikala, Sibylline, Rosemary and Dairy Free, Fran. Yeah, I'm sure you guys recognize a lot of these. Andrew Ham book. This is a Brendan the Blob zine for his Joshua Tree residency. I love that. Okay, right here I keep my little container. I kind of want to show you guys this. Hold on. This is my old high school watercolor palette. I did a video with this on it, starring it recently, so you guys might have seen that. This bin holds all of my colored pencils. These are all Faber-Castell Polychromos and a couple of Prismacolors. but I kind of keep them color organized, skin tones, pinks. Yeah, you get it. But I love this, how it's organized, and I got this container from the Container Store. It's a little pricey, but it's definitely worth it. And when I travel, I put some styrofoam, or I put some padding on the side so they don't break when they're shaking around. Let me put this back. Here's my watercolor palette. You guys have seen a lot. This bin also got leaked on, but this is my new set of oil paints. I have not touched them yet. I got them all like half off because there was a sale. But there's some leaking, and I really want to try out oil painting again because I hated it in school because they made us do it all the time, but I feel like if I do it at my own terms, I might enjoy it. So trying that out. All right, so here's the wall here. I kind of have a lot of my own artwork up right now because in that photo shoot, they asked me to hang my artwork up. And I haven't taken it down yet, but that one is Haikala. I'm not sure how to say her name. Haikala. And this one, I'm not sure the artist, but I got it from a Light Gray Art Lab show that I was in. If I find it, I'll put it in the description, but she doesn't have like a lot of social media, so yeah. All right, let me move this. This bin box is more for decoration. I have a huge paint molar there for making watercolor paint. I accidentally bought it on Amazon. I didn't know it was that big, so yeah, it's giant. And then my Ramona and Chun-Li figures. So you guys have seen this little setup before. I've had it at my last like 2 or 3 studios. Just 3 little spice rack shelves from IKEA set up so I can hang my inks, or I can put my inks there. Yeah, lots of ink. This box I also got from IKEA. It's very cute, and I put a lot of my watercolor stuff in here. So down here are palettes, containers for putting watercolors in. Yeah, just random stuff. This one has, I don't know. I guess I haven't filled all of them. All right, this container has all of my Daniel Smith watercolors. It's pretty deep, so there's quite a few there. Ugh. This one has my random other watercolors. I mostly use Daniel Smith and Mission Gold, but these are like Lucas, Schminke, you know, other ones. In here I have some keychains and little watercolor holders again for traveling. Some washi tape. I got this little container box thing at Michael's, and it just holds like clothespins. I have one for tacks. I had a push pin one, but it's all empty now. Stuff for my pegboard in this one. Sorry, this is gonna be a long video, guys. And you guys have seen all of these before. These have been in all my studios, my little bins of paintbrushes with stickers and stuff like that. I have my pin boards here. Right now there's some on my bag, so I took these out. But I actually have built another one of this one because I have a whole, probably half a board full of pins waiting to be hung up, I guess. So yeah, this is such a satisfying way to display them. Like, I'm super happy with these. And it's so nice to just like run your hand over it because it's all smooth and cold feeling. But if you guys are interested in these, I can do a little video on how to make them. I mean, it's super easy, but yeah, I don't know. Let me know. This is mostly where I'd sit to do all of my work, right here in front of the pegboard, which is my favorite part of my studio. I'm probably gonna have a pegboard in all my studios from now on because it looks nice for one, and it keeps everything super organized. So whenever I'm missing something, I know right away and I can go find it and put it back. If somebody borrows something, I know, and they usually don't put it back, so I know right away. And I mean, some of the paints are just for looks because it looks nice, but I definitely use all of the tools every day, and it's very useful to have this right above where I'm working. So I have more markers here. These are mostly Copic Chow markers, and then my old original Copic set from high school also. Some prints. I have this lamp set up here on the side from IKEA, and a couple more drawers. This is full of embossing stuff with embossing powders and stamps, and just some watercolor palettes and stuff. These ones, oh, this is my clear gesso for wood painting. These are pen nibs and little palettes, and some notepads and clips and stuff like that. Up here I have my YouTube plaque for 100,000, and then a little shelf for my other figurines, my Overwatch and Kill Bill ones. They're kind of falling around right now. All right, so there were more leaks over here, so it's kind of gross right now. This is the cart that I have. It's also a mess, but I keep some of my... When I'm doing paintings, like large paintings, this is usually when this cart comes out, so I can put my palette and all my brushes on here. Because when I'm doing large paintings, I usually don't work at the desk. I'll use my easel. So yeah, that's more useful when I'm like out, not here, you know. Right here next to that, this is one of my grandma's paintings. She passed away earlier this year, and they brought me some of her oil paints and her paintings to finish because they're unfinished. When I figure out how to do oil painting better, I want to add more to this one. And there's a couple of smaller ones. Okay, so this shelf right here is where we just keep all of our art books. Up there are some comics that I really like. These ones are a couple of Miyazaki movies, Adventure Time, Jacquelin, some illustration and design books, an Overwatch book. Down here are some magazines, boxes, and lots of paper. And down there are some more canvases, and that box is full of more paper pads. There's a lot of art supplies here that I don't use, and I'm definitely going to be donating a lot of them before we move. So yeah, probably half of this will be gone, but we'll see. And then the quick tour of Steven's space. This is his printing press right here. Right now he just has one head on it. And then he has a vinyl clutter or a plotter and some screens. That's where he keeps his ink. More screen holders. There's a heat press for a lot of things. And that's his dryer that heats up and sets the shirts, like the ink on the shirts and stuff. Steven's from Texas, so I got him that flag right there, the all right one, because Matthew McConaughey is one of his favorite actors and he's also from Texas, so they were selling that there. I thought it was funny. And it's also funny because I don't like Matthew McConaughey unless he's in Interstellar. I'm not just gonna go through the stuff under my desk right now because it's also a mess. There's a bunch of prepped wooden canvases that I put down here, a little file cabinet, some more paper that I use a lot more often, so it's closer, and some art supplies that I need to try out. A painting I never finished that got rained on. Down there are a lot of crafting supplies, so I have candle making supplies and watercolor making supplies. This bin has more mural painting stuff, so like house paint and markers and things like that. Some bags that I still need to get printed on and sell in my shop one day. Yeah, there's a lot of random stuff we need to get rid of here. Some unopened frames. I think I've gone through everything. All right, so that took a while, a lot longer than I expected. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it's a lot of repeat stuff from last time. I haven't really bought a lot of new things since my last studio. So today is actually January 4th, 2020, and it's a new year, a new decade. I feel excited about this year because I should be finished with doing the graphic novel. I didn't mention this before, I guess, because people were confused in my last video, but I am working on a graphic novel for DC Comics, and it's called Zatanna and the Jewel of Gravesend. It's kind of a dream job. Like, it's really cool how it came about because the author is actually a fan of my work, and the editor I had met when I was going to LCAD. So it was like a career day. DC was there, and me and her hung out for a bit, and she was like, she wanted to work with me. So it's been years since I graduated, but she finally got a chance to get me on a project because she's working with the author, and then when they were brainstorming of who they wanted to be the artists, both of them mentioned me right away. So that's such a cool, like, it was like meant to be, you know? So I'm having a lot of fun. It's a huge learning experience. I am not a comic artist. I've done one comic by myself, and that was, you know, on my own terms. So I'm learning a lot. I've definitely gotten a lot better since we started, and hopefully this year I'll be finished pretty soon, and then I can focus on this set of personal paintings that I've been wanting to work on. I have giant canvases waiting for 2 years now that haven't started, so those are some big plans. And my first convention is going to be Emerald City Comic Con in March, I believe. So if you're in Seattle anytime around then, you can come see me at the convention. That's going to be my first time traveling to a convention, I think, besides TwitchCon. I feel this is kind of fun because I haven't talked to you guys in a long time. I wish I could upload more often, and I'm trying to, because doing YouTube videos is one of my favorite things. It's one of the most rewarding things that I do. I love reading your guys' comments, and I'm not always able to reply to them all, but you all are so nice. So anyway, I did a post like this on Instagram, but if you guys want to tell me your art related or even personal New Year's resolutions and comment them below, I love reading those. Mine are that I want to focus more on personal work and stop taking on so many jobs from other people. And personally, I am trying to get healthier, so we started a paleo diet on January 1st, and I'm trying to skate more often. I've been meaning to make a video about skating because I took that up last year and it's taken over my life. I love it so much. But yeah, those are my two things mostly. So let me know what your resolutions are, or just things you want to work on. Doesn't have to be a New Year's thing. Comment below, and then I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and have a happy New Year. Bye.
Bye.